Afternoon guys, this video what I've uploaded, it's about all the other stuff that I've gone off and done on my car. I had the car half in pieces, so I've gone to town on it basically, run a load of wires, added a load of lights. There'll be a couple parts to this because of how much I've done and how big it is, but yeah, enjoy. Right, so this is just a bit of a side project really. I've taken the carpets up at the back and hoovered it out, give it a bit of a clean while I run my wires. I've taken off C-pillar trims both sides, top trim up there, B-pillar trim and A-pillar trim on that side. I just got to take off A-pillar trim on that side as well because I might change the headliner. I've got a spare headliner kicking around down the back of the shed, down the field, and if it's still alright I might switch it in because the previous owner of this one decided to put some screw holes in the roof, and it's been like it for years. It's never bothered me, but if I've got it this far I might as well bloody do it. So it'll mean disconnecting all the wires from the roof console and pulling the sun visors off, and I'll do that. So yeah, we're in deep now boys. Look at all that. The only thing left is the driver's seat and the dash. Everything else is out. Top quick tip for doing wiring and things: if you can salvage any factory clips from a parts truck or spares or anything like that, you can use them again on your additional wiring. Look at this smart job then, with the loom tape over it all and the factory wiring clips that I've modified. Not bad, huh? Just so you can see, this is the back side of the headliner, and I've put two marker lights just behind the headrests of the driver's and passenger's seat, or where it would be. I've just got some wire to hook up and then I'll put the headliner back in. People might call me anal, but I'm a bit paranoid, so I've got little lock nuts on there, serrated nuts, and a bit of Loctite so that they don't come undone. So yeah. Alright, so the headliner's nearly back in. I've fed the wires through to those. That's for the rear trigger, so when the interior light comes on it's going to send a signal through these two wires, or rather just this one, because that will go to ground and trigger a relay. That's a spare, because we always run a spare wire because you never know what you might need in the future. That's the original interior light, and these two feed the extra courtesy light in the rear, which I need to screw up on this headliner because this is a different headliner. So yeah, not looking too bad. I've got all those wires up there to feed through. I've fed some wires through at the back. The two back clips are in. I just need to go around the rest of it all. So that's how I'm getting on. It's a bit slow progress, but we're getting there. It's nice not to have to rush, to be honest, and just take all day doing it. Usually it's like, got to do it the weekend, and that's that. We've got some new lights in the headliner now. Not too shabby. So we're just installing these puddle lights. These are just green lorry side markers. I've drilled a hole in the bottom of the door up there, and I'm going to feed the wires up. I've got to drill two little pilot holes and then clean this up and put some mastic around the bottom so we don't get any water coming in. I'm just a bit paranoid about water coming in the doors when I go through rivers and stuff through that hole, so I'll seal that up. So I just wanted to show you the loom I've made. This is the extra plug I've put in, and that's the window switch. They both come out here, follows the original loom up to this cable grommet. Now quick tip, I've put 3 cable ties on there because it's easy to get to, and then I'll slide them into the door and zip them up all in there. We've also got our second wire for the wing mirror. Yeah, wing mirror. And that's going up to that one. I've got to put a marker light in there. So that's all taped up, and that'll get cable tied with that, nice and neat. So we're looking good. So by using the factory sort of route from the cables, you can see it's quite easy to get to the plugs if you need to disassemble it. You've got the door plug coming in, and then my plug right next to the factory window switch loom. So I've pulled these plugs out, and they've come out this hole one by one, and that's behind this B-pillar trim here, and the cables are hidden by this little plastic guard thingy. So I pulled them out, and I've traced the wiring back in this door. I've got the weather shield thing off, and now I'm going to follow these wires up to here, and you can see it's a little junction there, and I shall run my little loom up next to the window switch again and do the rears. So this door's now done. Speaker, window switch, my loom, that runs down there, and then we've got to put another little plug on there and join it into our whole little system. So I've just undone all the driver's side B-pillar stuff, and I've pulled this loom out a little bit. I've run my wire, I've loom taped all this, and then I've got to pull these grommets back to the right dimensions where they were originally, and put a bit of cloth tape around the back of them. Yeah, it's a bit of a long task, but we're getting there. Okay, so it's looking a bit more like a car now. We've got all the door cards on. What I need to do is run these wires behind the back of the dash and to my junction box over there, and then we can wire them all up. Right, so I've got the side marker lights fitted in the mirrors. It's a bit close with the screw, so that screw's just near that bracket. The wire comes out just below. I've put some mastic in there to stop it all chafing. And there's another screw up there. I don't know how well that's focusing. So yeah, it's a bit of a juggling act between getting it in the right place and not having it hit the screws or the bosses behind there. But as you can see, they're on, and a little bit of creative mastic work, so the black bit of the side marker matches the curve of the mirror. So basically just fill it all up with mastic when you put it on, screw it up, and then get like a rag or an old t-shirt or something and go around the edge and just wipe all of the mastic off and leave a tiny, you know, almost like a straight bead behind it. It looks a hell of a lot neater, and then just like polish off the rest of the mastic off the mirror, and yeah, it looks pretty clean. So they're both done. I'm waiting on some more wire because I've used probably close to 35 meters now of wire, and yeah, I ran out the roll yesterday, so we'll wait for some more before I can wire these in and do the roof lights as well. But it's getting there, it's getting back together. I sprayed the logo on the roof, the two lights, I've got the interior light to go back in, and all the pillar trims. So yeah, and a bit of tidying up down here. So that's the right side finished. I've fed the cables through there, and I've left plenty of extra cable on there and just done a run and cable tied it to this little support. I could clip it back, but it's sod's law in the future. You know, if you want to do something or change the connectors or change the light or anything, you don't want to be mucking around here because you've not got enough cable. Just, you know, leave the extra on, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier in the future. There's nothing worse than trying to strip something back right near here and trying to get to it with a soldering iron. You know, it just makes life harder, doesn't it? So the front to rear loom has been stripped back. I've added a couple more cores, and I've loom taped it all the way to the back. I've got that out, I've got these unplugged. We're going for it. So I'm just adding in another relay to control another one of the logic circuits at the back. Originally I made this panel just with two, and that's a ground distribution block, and these are all the ins. So another relay, bit of an afterthought, but oh well. That's going to run along another pigtail and up to our main little bit. So yeah, getting there.